Okay, so would you mind explaining to me again what the hell happened to your AC unit?
Okay, so we were just sitting here basking in the air conditioning, and this crazy bitch vampire woman came in with her crazy bitch children. I don't even know. And she sat on the air conditioning unit and broke it because she's ginormous.
What? Time out. Children?
I mean, they were grown children, but they were her spawn, according to how they were speaking to each other.
And she sat on it. Was she fat?
She's huge. I mean, she's like a giant. Have you ever seen Harry Potter?
No.
Oh. She's like a giant. Think Jack and the Beanstalk, the giants.
How tall was she? Was she like...
I mean, she was like 10 feet tall. She was huge. She was like 2 of me. I'm short.
That just doesn't sound real.
I know what I saw.
There might be a gas leak in the apartment.
I don't smell any gas. I know what gas smells like. I know what I saw.
I don't believe you.
Nobody ever does.
No, I just don't believe you. So I would suggest let's get out of this apartment in case there's a gas leak.
To an apartment with a working AC unit. That's all I care about at this point.
Well, you're gonna have to talk about that with your complex manager. I can't do that for you. But let's get out for now, and we'll figure out where to go.
I know what I saw.
Okay, so you know what we're gonna do? While you cool yourself off in your car, in the meantime, we're gonna look at A World Traveler and a Vampire Mommy Go to White Castle. Hello, welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Carradine.
Carradine!
Oh, musical. That's new.
Wait. I'm stretching, I don't know what I'm saying.
You're stretching.
I'm stretching all of my creative muscles right now. I mean, that's what I'm doing.
What are we on episode 38 or something? I'm pretty sure you have to be getting what's it called?
Into my groove?
No, running out of ideas on how to introduce yourself.
Carradine, I can start introducing myself with mispronunciations.
Ooh, that
Carradine, Cardania.
Carrot cake.
What?
Carrot cake.
I was called Catherine the other day.
What?
Catherine. It was by someone who was reading my name, too. Like, there's no T. There's no H.
Catherine with a C? Or...
I mean, they were reading my literal name, and they said Catherine.
So Catherine with a Q. Okay.
Oh, what?
I got it. So, there's this game called Dirt 5. It came out a couple of months ago on, I think, Windows, PlayStation 4, PS5, the Xbox family. And this game is rally racing, competition, circuits, gymkhana, all this fun car guy type stuff. And
it sounds just like you. Yeah, it's your type of game.
I am not a car guy.
You're a car guy.
Hell no.
You fix our cars all the time.
Fuck no. I pay someone to do it because I'm an idiot with cars.
Yeah, he is. But he admits it, so it's fine.
So, anyways, I really like this game series because it's fun. It actually feels good to drive the cars. And we somehow managed to get a copy of Dirt 5 for PlayStation 4. And
they're demonstrating. They're giving us sound effects to go along with the topic of the game.
Yeah, that was really good of that asshole.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have the copy. We're gonna give a copy away to whoever can tell me what I think about Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. We're gonna talk about her at some point throughout the episode, so make sure you stick around and listen. As soon as you hear what I think about her, put it in an email in your own words, send it out. And whoever...
The first person to email us.
First person to email us is going to get this game. It's the PS4 version, but it also has the free update for PS5. So if you have a PS5, you're going to see this amazing game. And believe me, it looks awesome on PS5. Didn't you have something to say about TikTok?
So I made my own book talk video this weekend, and I may or may not have gone viral, or at least my definition of viral, baby viral, not legit viral,
Baby viral.
but like viral for someone who only had 100 followers. So basically, one of my friends sent me a TikTok of this book that is a book within a book. It's S by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. And this thing is blown up on TikTok to the point that it's sold out on Amazon, of all places. Sold out at most retailers, but I found it at one of the Barnes & Nobles near us. And I know it's Barnes & Noble, not Barnes & Nobles, but I'm speaking in the plural sense, unlike you people who think it's actually called Barnes & Nobles.
Me?
Sorry, pet peeve of mine. Yes. Anyway, it's just like Longhorns. It's fucking Longhorn, not Longhorns.
Oh, never mind.
Stop. Just anyway, I made a TikTok, my own TikTok about this book, and I got like 1,000 views an hour for 24 hours. So I'm at over 26K views right now. And I'm pretty darn proud of myself. The followers were just pouring in all day. I think I'm up 100 followers from where I was when I posted it. I also started a Disney talk, and that one is doing fairly well.
You know, we're both, well, I'm 30, you're 29. I think we're a bit too old for TikTok.
You know what? We deserve our time to shine. We should have had it on Vine, but
we were.
I wasn't technologically savvy, nor did I have like a phone that I could have done Vine with. I had a flip phone.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Damn.
No. Yeah.
That recently?
Yeah, I had a flip phone till I was, I think, 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I did something today.
What did you do?
I ordered something.
What did you order?
Something that I've been meaning to get for a long time, and I finally found a way to get it without shelling out
an Xbox.
No, without shelling out a ton of money in one go.
What?
I managed to order a computer.
For gaming. For streaming games.
For streaming games, and it also does it. It also helps that it supports that it can support pretty much any game out there right now.
Very
Even
nice.
if it's in the lowest settings, it can still support any game.
Even big titty vampire girlfriend games?
Probably. This big titty mommy vampire.
Excuse me. That's too many words.
Yeah. Anyways, so I got a computer. It was from exoticpc.com. They do have this financing option where they split your payments out for 12 or 13 months, depending on what you qualify for. And basically I did that. I built the computer that I needed with the specs that I needed. And it should be arriving between the next 15 to 15 business days. I'm pretty sure it's going to take longer because there's like shortages of shit. So I'm pretty sure it might fall into that. But whatever. It's a computer and it's coming. And I don't have to start paying till after I get the computer. So
nice.
That's pretty great.
Very nice.
Yeah. And we have roofers still.
Oh my God. I spent the last week at home in misery for multiple reasons, but one of the biggest reasons was because of these damn roofers. They are a nightmare.
They're terrible.
They are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
They were banging around like maniacs. We took everything off the walls in preparation for them, and it didn't matter because they still managed to knock every single clean fucking dish out of our dish rack into the kitchen floor. I wanted to cry. Poor Luna had a heart attack. We both had heart attacks because we didn't know what the fuck was happening. These maniacs run up and down the roof like it's, I don't know, just a regular racetrack or something.
And you saw something that you've never seen before.
I did. So we went out of the apartment to go walk Luna, and he's like, "What is that at the bottom of the stairs?"
No.
I shit you
I was
not.
laughing, and I said, "Look at that." And you're like, "What?" And I said, "Look, over there."
There was a microwave on the grass at the bottom of our stairs, plugged into a generator. It's like, what the actual fuck? So then, the next day, I go out to check the mail, and I'm walking back in, And all these jokers are sitting around the fucking electrical box, or whatever the hell that thing is called, with the microwave plugged in on top of it. Microwaving their BPA-filled Tupperware lunches. I swear one of those Tupperware looked like Donald Trump. Because, it was like somebody heated up spaghetti in it or something, and it turned orange.
See,
they have bottles of hot sauce and
the thing that
empty
concerns
Coke cans and...
The thing that concerns me is the Coke cans, because they have
They have unopened cans of Coke
24
just laying
cans,
around on the ground.
24 cans of Coke just spread all over the
Meanwhile, they
the
have
grass.
like 5 coolers with them, and one of the coolers was literally sitting in the middle of the sidewalk leading to our apartment full of debris instead of cooler things. I'm like, so do they just use these coolers as trash cans, or... It also had the lid ripped off of it, so I'm just really concerned about this whole process.
They're almost done with us. I think Monday today should be our last.
Please God.
Yeah, and that'll be it. No more people running all over our roofs and giving our dog a heart attack.
Yeah, poor Luna. She has not had a good time of it. I haven't either, but she struggled more than I have.
Yeah, she has. All right, so are you ready for your book?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, I feel like we're going to end up talking aliens again.
Probably.
This is Book Talk.
This week's book is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. It was published just last week on May 11th, 2021 by Berkeley Books. I read my first Henry book last year, and chances are that you've probably heard of it considering how popular it has become. Beach Read. It's not actually about reading at the beach, despite many misconceptions from that title. It's more of a book that you would read at the beach. A not-so-good way to spend the day at the beach, if you ask me. So when I saw that a digital ARC...
hold up.
Wait, what?
You, a book nerd, a bookworm, are saying that books are not good
No,
things?
I'm saying that this book is not a good thing to read at the beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, just this one.
Okay.
Reading at the beach is all I would do at the beach.
Okay.
And drink.
Okay, continue.
But just not this book, yeah. So, when I saw that a digital ARC of People We Meet on Vacation was up for request on NetGalley, a huge digital ARC platform, I figured, why not give it a shot? Because surely I couldn't dislike it more than I disliked Beach Read. And to be fair, I gave Beach Read 3 stars, but it was kind of like an angry and begrudging 3 stars. I don't know. Hopefully this review will help better explain my thought process on that. Basically, this read has led me to the conclusion that Miss Henry's writing style just may not be for me. Our story is that of friends to lovers, which should have been a red flag for me from the get-go. I am a big enemies to lovers fan, and friends to lovers just makes me feel a little queasy. The intrigue simply is not there for me, and I have a hard time believing the passion. Yes, I realize this may sound confusing. I am, in fact, a confusing individual. Now, finally, to the meat of the book. People We Meet on Vacation follows Poppy, a travel writer, and her best friend, Alex, who accompanies her on one of her vacations each summer.
What the fuck type of name is Poppy?
Poppy seeds!
That is a stupid name.
I think it explained why she was named Poppy, but I couldn't be bothered to remember.
I just like that one girl in Love After Lockup. Her name is Poppy.
There's somebody named Poppy in Love After Lockup?
Yeah, the one
Poppy,
with
Poppy,
the creepy
Poppy.
Military guy that he
Puppy! Her name is Puppy!
like Puppy.
Yeah, like a dog, like Luna. Puppy, not Poppy. Puppy.
Oh,
Her
God.
name is literally Puppy.
Let's continue.
People are fucking stupid.
Yeah, let's continue before I offend someone with that stupid ass name.
Okay, so they've been friends seemingly for forever and continue to go on these vacations even when they're in relationships with other people. I'd be damned if I let you go on vacation with another woman without me, even if it is your best friend. Maybe if she's a lesbian, it would be okay. But that's the only case in which it would be okay. The thing is, this book started off so perfectly. I was invested. I was rooting for Poppy and Alex. I was ready to declare this my favorite contemporary romance of the year. But then the author drones on, and on, and on, and on, and on. And the plot is seemingly going nowhere for approximately 50% of the damn book. And I was ready to DNF. If it does not drive the plot, fucking edit it out. I get some fluff here and there, but the entire middle of the book felt like fluff of Alex and Poppy being bickering children and lots of paragraphs and dialogue about the air conditioning not working and how hot it was wherever the hell they were. I can't be bothered to remember where the fuck they were on that vacation. But it didn't help that, like, our air conditioning was on the fritz while I was reading this, and I just wanted to throw my Kindle through the window.
Technically, our AC was still working. It was just
being stupid.
It was just so fucking hot. It was
struggling to cool.
That it wouldn't cool. It also didn't help that our, what's it called? The shingles on the roof
were being removed.
Well, they were still there. They were the old ones that were very dark, and that sucks up the heat like a vacuum. And now the new ones that we have are clear, so those reflect the light back, so that's nice. And it was also the hottest week of the year that week.
I was miserable. I literally took one of the ice packs for your lunchbox and stuck it in the back of my bra at one point. I was like alternating from the front to the back, front to back.
See, I was more worried about
Let
Luna.
them titties freeze. Poor Luna.
I was worried more I was worried more about Luna because she
has a lot of hair.
A fur. And
she gets really warm.
We haven't been able to set up an appointment to get her groomed.
She needs it real bad.
Yeah, she does. She's not.
Pitiful.
Where is she
definitely
right now?
Looks like a full-blown Ewok right now. She's behind me.
She's behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, she's licking herself. She's living her best life.
If you look at my Disney talk, you'll see us giving Luna her new toy.
Oh, right. And she ignored it.
Yeah.
She only played for like 5 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, but that's how she is with all of her toys. She'll be interested.
Yeah, you have to grab the toy and smack her around for her to pay attention to it.
Yeah, you got to really get her attention by beating her up a little bit. We don't abuse our animal.
She's a bit of a masochist, isn't she?
She's so cute.
She's adorable, but still, it's like you have to grab the toy and like literally beat the shit out of her face with it. So that she'll pay attention.
You make it sound so bad.
It kind of is.
We just bump it up against her face and it gets her all riled up.
Against her nose a lot.
That's really cute.
And lately she's gotten to the point where she starts biting the hand instead of the toy.
She loves biting. Once you get her going, she loves, but she won't. She knows still that she's just playing and she won't like really bite down on you. Unless you just got home from work and then she's just so excited that she can't help herself.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like that.
She gets very excited.
So what else do you want to say about the stupid book?
So the ending did get better, like the final 20%. I read it on the Kindle, so I'm thinking in percentages here. Does
Kindle give it to you in percentages?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Exactly. And then it tells you your reading time. So like when you start a new chapter, it tells you how many minutes you have left in the chapter based on how fast you read.
Oh, interesting.
Which is nice. But I also look at it obsessively. Obsessively.
So you read one sentence and look at it, and another sentence and look at it.
Not quite like that, but
another sentence and look at it.
Not quite like that, but pretty bad. But that's like the fact that the ending got better is literally the only reason, combined with that first little bit where I was rooting for them, that I didn't give it less than 3 stars. I really don't think I can be bothered to read another one of this woman's books. Please turn me in another direction if I try to stray back to her. It's just not for me. It's just not. Friends to lovers. You know what it makes me think of the entire time I'm reading it?
What?
If Kevin and I wound up in love with each other.
Well, we all know Kevin is secretly gay.
Oh, poor Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, if you're listening
Well,
to
if
this.
we're going in that vein, it would be if Alan and I fell in love with each other.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Alan is confirmed. Kevin is still in the closet.
Kevin's married. Kevin also doesn't listen to the podcast. Watch us find out that he listens when he shoots me a text and be like, hey, I'm not gay.
It's like, Kevin, it's okay if you come out of the closet. Just, please, be true to yourself.
But it just weirds me out. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't get it. I get the tension when you're like really irate with each other. Like the hating game where they literally hated each other so much that they played games about how much they hated each other and then they fell in love because like they worked up all that tension and just had to get it out. Or like Frasier with that boss that he really hated and then all of a sudden next thing you know they're making out on her desk.
What did he call her? A prude?
I think so. I love Frasier so much.
That show is
I think those
stupid.
Funkos come out next month. We've been so good. We have not bought Funko Pops. Okay, we did buy a couple weeks ago, but the couple we bought a couple weeks ago were the first Funkos that we've bought in like
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these Frasier Funkos, I have to have them. No ifs, ands, or buts.
What was it? Sekiro and something else and one else for you?
I got Aurora because there was a deal. That's the only reason I got it.
I don't remember which was the other one that I bought along with Sekiro.
Neither do I.
Damn it, I probably shouldn't have bought it then. I'll return it. Doesn't matter.
All the Funkos are currently on the floor because of the roofers.
and
it's quite the mess.
We noticed that the Funkos work kind of like a noise absorber, noise buffer, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, they definitely. It's a what is the word?
Noise reduction.
They're like a sound
proof.
Yeah, because we can hear ourselves echo now without them.
Yeah, so we're talking a little bit lower just so it doesn't echo. But
one day we'll be millionaires and we'll have a studio.
That would be awesome. Hey, Elon, I know you listen. So please talk about Dogecoin all the time, nonstop, and tweet about it nonstop. So
and don't make fun of it, you dumbass motherfucker.
Yeah, don't have your mom make stupid jokes about it because that cost us $100 and something, and that wasn't fun.
We're not going to talk about it. It's fine.
But it's going back up, so please talk about it some more because your word apparently is law on the internet. So
go figure.
Elon Musk, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. He's something.
Yeah, he has something.
He's something.
He's kind of crazy for smoking weed on Joe Rogan. But hey, Elon, if you come on our show, you can smoke weed with us.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, speaking of Seth Rogen, oh my God, I didn't even recognize him in that picture you showed me.
Without the
facial hair and without the fat.
And the glasses?
Yeah.
He looks weird.
He looks super weird. He looks like some hipster wannabe dad. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he has that his hair looking like it has Jerry curls in it. It's weird. Doesn't look like him.
I didn't like it.
No, me neither. All right. So, anything else you want to say before we go on to games and stuff?
I don't recommend this book.
You didn't give us a stars.
Oh, I did. 3 stars.
Seriously?
Yeah, just because the beginning of the book was decent and the end was decent, so I felt bad giving it less than 3.
So what if this lady writes another book?
I ain't reading it.
And she doesn't fuck up the middle part?
If she writes an enemies to lovers book, then I might try to read it.
Enemies to lovers?
Yeah.
Not friends to lovers?
Although Beach Read was kind of enemies to lovers. I don't know. I still didn't like it. So no, never mind. I'm not going to read any more of her books.
No more books for Karen.
She rambles. She's like the Stephen King of romance to me. No, not for me. I don't like Stephen King. I can't do it.
So if she's like the Stephen King of romance, Stephen King has like the weird deaths, right?
I'm thinking about how unnecessarily wordy he is.
Does she have like the weird romances, like and the trash man and the barista at the cafe fell in love, or the car salesman and what's a weird profession?
No, it's nothing like that.
No,
this was a teacher and a world traveler.
A world traveler.
A travel writer.
Ugh. And they were still best friends?
Yup.
How does the teacher afford to go on vacations?
Well, most of the time her work was paying for it, so he just got to tag along.
Oh, he was the teacher?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I wish I had a friend that had a world traveling job so that I can go with him or him.
I was about to say, you're not going with her. We've already established that.
I guess.
I wouldn't let you go at all.
Okay.
But
I'll go anyways.
I would have to go with you.
All right, so it's time for games and stuff. So for this week's game, we have Resident Evil Village. This is the 8th installment of the Resident Evil series. It was published and developed by Capcom on May 7th, 2021 for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series S and X, Stadia, which somehow it's still alive, and Windows. And I just noticed that what I wrote, I said it was published and developed by Capcom on May 7th. I should have said it was developed and published by Capcom.
Oh, well. Oh, wait, so we did it again where our things came out like almost at the same time?
When did your thing?
The 11th, last week.
Oh. Yeah, I guess so.
Look at that.
The game follows Ethan Winters as he and his wife and new baby try to overcome the events of Resident Evil 7.
His baby?
Yes.
There's a baby in this shit?
There's a baby in...
I can't even watch it. How's the baby exist in it?
The baby is kind of like the major plot point.
Spoilers!
So, it's not a spoiler because it happens literally like 10 minutes into the game. Baby gets kidnapped. Your job is to get it back.
Oh, shit!
Yeah. Let's talk about the graphics a bit. The graphics in the game, they are amazing. This game looks so freaking good on PS5. The monsters look grotesque. They look like there's one in particular that it's kind of like a fish human, and he looks like if you would poke him, he would burst into pus.
Is he like a blowfish?
No. He is like a frog man, but he turns into a fish. He has like warts all over, like blobs. It's really nasty. There's a lot of fungus in the game because, of course, the enemies, the monsters become monsters because of the fungus.
Of course, I knew that.
The game is very grotesque with the body horror, but it's done in a way that it's not gross to look at. It's like, oh, that's bad. It's not. I'm gonna lose my lunch type of way. And it's very detailed. It just looks really, really good. The animations are very well done with lots of wriggling, like Gollum.
I saw that man in the wagon thing, and his belly was wriggling a lot.
The Duke, he's the guy that sells you the weapons.
Yeah.
He's the merchant. We're going to talk more about it. Just like in Resident Evil Remake, which we talked about in episode 9.
Wasn't that Spooky Month?
Yeah, a horror month where we were...
Spooky Month?
A horror console.
A whore?
Not a whore, a horror. So yeah, like in that previous game, the enemies react to the bullet shots. Like if you shoot them in the head, their head will jerk back with the force from the bullet.
As it should, right?
I mean, if you're a normal human and you get shot in the head, I'm pretty sure you're going to drop to the ground. Your head's not going to jerk back, right?
Wouldn't your head jerk back and you drop to the ground?
You wouldn't even notice because your body's falling so fast.
I don't even know.
Me neither. So there's a lot of head explosions because of the head shooting.
Yay!
The game, the animations are just great. There's a lot of fluid movements because they did do motion capture for the game to get like all the main characters that you see, all the...
Like Gollum.
Yeah, kind of like that, except that every single person has been motion captured.
That's cool.
Because, well, you know, it's a whole video game. There's no real people in it. And the acting in the game was actually really good. I don't understand why people from Eastern Europe would have American accents, but that's neither here or there.
I asked myself that same question in every single fucking Disney movie I have ever seen. Except Brave, but it's Pixar.
Yeah, that's different. It also reminds me of the, what's it called? The Prince of Persia movie where...
I never saw that one.
So Jake Gyllenhaal is the Prince of Persia.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
And he speaks fluent English, no accent or anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Talk about whitewashing.
Yeah, very whitewashed. So going back to the sound stuff for the voice acting and whatnot. So the sound design, I kind of jumped the gun before saying sound design. The name of the game is Atmospheric. The whole game just has this crazy oppressive sound all around you all the time. It's empty. There's wind whooshing, birds cawing. There's just nobody around unless there's monsters. I was using the headphones while I was playing, and it just kept the world so immersive to the point where I got to the second house and I said, I am done. I need to take these headphones off because this is too much.
You got spooked?
It was spooky.
Oh.
It was very spooky. Especially when I got to the second house, there's one specific monster that really creeped me out, and I took my headphones off, I lowered the volume on the TV, and I'm like, okay, this will go back up once I'm out of this fucking place. So, and I was like playing through that whole part, and I was like, okay, I want to stop.
If you can't handle it, I don't know what I would have done.
It was really short, so it was well done. It was very well done. I was creeped out. There was no jump scares or anything in that specific area, and all of the scary stuff that they introduced was just done perfectly well. It was getting scared in a way that felt good.
Okay, because that makes sense.
Exactly, that makes sense. But yeah, no, the sound design is amazing. The monsters are screamy. You're walking around, you hear your foot stomping, you hear things falling. There's a specific area where you're in a cave and like stuff just starts falling from the cave and hitting like the metal walkways and whatever. And it's just great sound design. Like with the headphones, you hear it all around you. It's just awesome. The gameplay is standard Resident Evil. So you survive, you get guns, get keys, solve puzzles, upgrade your weapons, manage items, and make every single shot count. It does have a crafting mechanic. It doesn't feel forced at all. So to me, it felt like it actually worked really well. You would find, let's say, gunpowder and scrap metal or rusted metal, and you would use that to make bullets or health items. And that doesn't take up part of your inventory because you do have an inventory where you have your guns and your bullets and your healing items and all that. These are in a separate menu that you don't have to manage. So these, you actually can carry as much as you can find, and you can make as many bullets as you can carry with them if you have the materials to make them, along with the healing items and whatnot. This game is basically a Metroidvania. The village area that you get to explore in between the houses has a lot of restricted areas that you can only access when you get specific items like, let's say, a key or a pulley, so you can raise the wells and get stuff that are inside the well. So it warrants for you to explore the village after you come out of the houses, because in every house you will find something that you'll be able to use in the village.
Are there are no people here anymore?
No, they're all monsters. And the few people that you meet, yeah.
What?
No, I'm not gonna say.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's there's one sequence and it's really crazy, and I was like, oh shit, that was awesome. So like I said, there's 4 houses. One for giant vampire mommy. 2 for a second one is a creepy doll house. Third is kind of a sunken town, and the 4th is a factory. So the first 2 major houses are very puzzle heavy and logic heavy. So you would have to, think, how would I fix this? How would I do this? What do I need to put here? What do I need to find here?
I suck at those puzzles.
So it's not very hard. It's just a lot of backtracking. So the Metroidvania formula really hits hard in these 2 houses, especially the second one when they take your weapons away and you're completely defenseless. And it starts getting crazy and you have to solve puzzles at the same time. When you get out of those 2, then you start actually going into more linear corridor-like houses, which are better for, gunning down enemies and combat, which it actually feels amazing. The way that the puzzles and the combat were put into this game reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 4. So you can see that this game was inspired a lot, which if you want to see what we think about Resident Evil 4, you should probably listen to episode 5. We covered it there back in Horror Month. Apart from that, you can, like I said earlier, buy upgrades and weapons by visiting the merchant, which is the Duke, the fat
man
in
the wagon.
Yeah, the fat wriggling
Where,
guy.
like, literally, he's the only thing that fits in that wagon.
Yeah.
He takes up the whole thing.
Yeah, he does.
I was really confused by that.
So every time you find the Duke, he's in a specific safe area where enemies can't get to you. At one point, I was in the first castle, in the Dimitrescu castle, and the giant vampire mommy was chasing me around.
With a fly swatter?
I didn't have the fly swatter.
Aw,
That was
damn
modded.
it.
That was modded in to the game, but I didn't have fly swatter. Anyways, she was chasing me around. I was almost dead, and I didn't have any healing items. So I remembered that the Duke had a safe room nearby. I ran into the safe room, and the door stayed open, and I could see her just like standing at the door, staring at me.
That's so creepy.
She's just staring me down, creeped out, and be like, "I'm gonna catch you, Ethan Winters. I'm gonna kill you." And I'm like, "I'm right here, bitch. Come get me."
So, like, how much bigger is she than you?
You have to look up to see her face. Like, if you look straight at her, you're just gonna see like her waistline.
Can you imagine having to look up at a woman?
That'd be awesome. I'm always the tallest one.
I love it.
So it would be cool to look up and see somebody higher than me. Like, oh shit, I'm not that tall.
You do that with Charles.
Yeah, with Charles. Charles is like 5 inches taller than me.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Let me see, where was I? Okay, so the Duke. You can sell the treasures that you find, the items that you find in the game, and use the money that he gives you to buy weapons, supplies, upgrades. And apparently, he also knows the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Oh, really?
Because he, at one point, when you talk to him, he says, "So, what are you buying?" He says, "Oh, that's just something an old friend of mine used to say." And that's the thing that the merchant says to you every time you talk to him in Resident Evil 4. So that's really cool world building. I do have one complaint about the game, and it's actually about the Duke. So he buys anything that you sell at him. The problem is that he will only resell back to you bullets or guns when you sell them to him. So if you sell him health items or food items that you need to craft recipes, he won't sell them back.
Why not?
Because there's only a set amount of animals in the world that you can kill, take their meat, and have him create these recipes for you. So before he gave me the option to create the recipes, I found some very rare food items, and I didn't get the option. I was like, okay, so I'll just kill these animals again and get them back and whatnot. So I sold this stuff to get money so I could upgrade some weapons. He wouldn't sell them back to me.
Bitch.
The animals didn't respawn again.
Bitch.
So I was locked out of a full defense because you can block, right? So when they attack, you can block. And some of these food recipes make it so that when you get hit when you're blocking, you don't take as much damage. And because I sold them, I was locked out of that one, and I was locked out of another one that raises your health a considerable amount. So I kind of fucked up real hard there, but I feel like I shouldn't have been punished for it. I feel like I should have been given the option of being able to buy those things again, which didn't happen. So don't sell your food stuff to him if you still haven't played the game. Don't, because you will regret it like I did. I do have some praises. The game is almost as good as Resident Evil 2 Remake, which we talked about on episode 9. It has tons of survival horror. It has a horror. A perfect balance of action. The game looks amazing. It sounds even better. The controls feel a bit slow in a good way, as in it helps keep the tension up. So there's some parts where you're like bogged down in like mud or something, and something's barreling down towards you, and if it hits you,
my pants.
If it hits you, it's gonna kill you. So those slow controls at those points, they were awesome.
I'd shit them.
Yeah. There was a few times where I had to repeat the same part over and over again, and every time he would hit me, I was like, just move. So, I also like that the horror in this game is just the tension being built up on itself, and it barely relies on jump scares. I can specifically remember just one, And I was expecting it because everything was way too quiet. So it was almost telegraphed that there was a jump scare coming. So that was really good. This a really good design decision on the part of
I'd be so on edge the whole time.
Oh, believe me, I was. That second house, it was. Oh my god,
it's like Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, that one was worse. So, and also, it felt to me like they decided to put like a lot of time into the second house to make it look like the best house, and also covered in a bunch of creepy dolls. And
dolls.
No,
thank you. No.
It just felt to me like they said, okay, this is where everybody's going to shit their pants. So let's make this the most amazing. Make it last like 45 minutes.
45 minutes!
And we're done. The rest of it is going to be action. And I tell you, I started playing it. I was like, okay, I just want to come in and I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to go to bed. And I just kept playing until I was out the other side of the door. And I was like, wow, that was insane. And I would do something. It's like, okay, I'm going to turn it off, but let me look over here. I just kept going and going. It was just a fucking creep fest. It was awesome. I also did like that the weapon improvement feels like it's going at a natural rate, at a rate where you don't always feel too weak or you don't always feel too powerful. It's just like the perfect balance for you to be like right there where the enemies are. And the rate in which you receive the new weapons as well. You know, you're not going to get one shotgun after the other or one gun after the other immediately. So you get a couple of hours of playtime in between finding the new weapons. And I like how they added in new lore into the Resident Evil universe. They connected a couple of things to this game that actually makes the lore feel bigger than it is. Like it makes it feel like the whole series has been one giant plan. It doesn't feel like they've been making shit up as they've been going along. And the story itself is very interesting. I wanted to keep going to see what was going to happen next, or where the story was going next, or what they were going to say or do next. And it lasts about 8 to 13 hours, so it doesn't really overstay its welcome. It's a good weekend game that you can just sit down and kill in a couple of days over a few hours. It took me about 8.5 hours for me to finish my playthrough. And I feel like that's a pretty good time for a game such as this. I also love that once you beat the game, you unlock the Mercenaries mode. So basically, the Mercenaries mode is a timed kill all enemies, find all treasures, get to the exit as fast as you can mode. That's usually get 2 minutes to do all that. Each time you kill somebody, you would get extra time. You would find extra time. You would find some extra power-ups throughout the stages where you're playing Mercenaries. And some have headshots, do more damage, or walk faster, or every time you kill somebody, you get health. So these little things that they've added to spice up Mercenaries mode are very well welcome. And I'm a huge Mercenaries mode fan from Resident Evil 4 and 5.
Now, being in this different mode, are you still playing the same game, or is it like a bonus thing?
It's a bonus thing, but it's the exact same stages that you've been through in the game.
But you're not still actively playing the game, like,
so
continuously from before.
No, because this is a separate mode that you would go in, you would start it, it would boot up and everything like a brand new game, and they would just throw you into these locations from the game. They would just lock you off into a specific path that you would have to follow to get your objective done. So it's not like you're continuing in the same world where you just came out of. So it's just a fun side thing. For you to, get better at the game, at the controls, and just blast a bunch of monsters away with your shotgun.
Boom, boom.
Have their heads pop off. Apart from that, you can buy character models, concept art, and specific weapons to use in the main campaign or on a second playthrough. So these are pretty cool because I bought all the character models and I was looking at them, and the level of detail that they put on each one is crazy good. The Ethan's wife, Mia, her character model, she's holding the baby, and you can see every single tear and bend in her clothes, and all the way down to her feet, you can see how fussy her socks are and her slippers, because she's wearing slippers.
That's weird.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of little details that they shouldn't have put there, but they did, and I love that they did.
Wait, so are you hauling the wife around this whole time looking for the baby?
No. Something happens at the beginning, and something. Anyways, I'm not going to say because this game came out a couple of weeks ago, and I don't want to spoil anything. I just want to say the castle in the beginning is awesome. It's really old school Resident Evil fun. The second house is creepy as shit. A lot of people had compared it to Silent Hill.
Oh.
I've never played Silent Hill, but I would say it was very close to PT, the playable teaser for Silent Hill that was released on PS4 a bunch of years ago. And it, oh my god. I'd never want to go through that house again, so I'm probably just going to give this game one playthrough. Overall, this game is a definite must-play for Resident Evil fans. It builds on what was established on Resident Evil 7 while bringing a lot of elements from the older Resident Evil games into this new game. It also has a giant vampire mommy
that everybody's talking about. Everybody, everywhere.
So everybody's horny for her.
I don't get it.
I mean, either. I do think that she is incredibly charismatic, even though she just wants to kill you the entire time she's on screen. But
she's a vampire. The whole premise is for them to lure you in.
So she's technically not a vampire.
Wait, what? What the fuck is she? A giantess?
A vampire, but technically not a vampire. They explain it later on in the game in a note that you find and you read. They do explain how her daughters came to be so crazy, and the lore is just great. It is chef's kiss. But yeah, so she's very charismatic. Even though she's trying to kill you, she's just every single time she's on screen, her voice actors, her motion capture, it was just done so well. She is so likable, even though she's a villain. So apart from people being horny for her, I just get...
And the fly swatter.
And the video with the fly swatter, which is very funny. They hit her with a fly swatter in the butt. She chases them around, and SpongeBob plays in the background. So
look it up if you haven't seen it.
But yeah, I get the appeal. So that's actually your
giveaway entry.
Yeah. So just tell me what I think about Lady Dimitrescu, and we will. Whoever gets it first.
You're going to make them summarize what you said?
Yes.
Why don't you just give them a keyword? Nobody's going to want to summarize what you said.
Okay, so I'm going to summarize it for you. What you need to email in is Lady Dimitrescu is charismatic. That's it.
There you go. A sentence.
But spelling is important. If you don't spell her name right, you lose. So,
oh God!
Just make sure you spell it right. Just Lady Dimitrescu is charismatic, and that will get you Dirt 5 if you're the first one in.
And spelled correctly.
Oh
God!
So, what do you think I'm going to give Resident Evil
5
Village?
stars.
Nope.
Are you fucking kidding me? 4.5.
4.9.
What?
Just that one thing. That one thing with the fucking thing that I sold and I couldn't buy back. That was enough for me to take down that point. And
please,
yeah, that's why it's short of the perfect. And also that second house
so
was
dramatic.
That second house was very creepy. I didn't like that. It was awesome, but I didn't like it. So 4.9 for Resident Evil Village. It's so fucking good. Buy it, play it, love it. So good. All right. So do you know what time it is?
I do.
What time is it?
It's time for Gimme the Garbage.
All right. That is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's Garbage segment is very special because we are not enjoying, we are not eating, we are going to White Castle.
Or rather, we
went to White Castle. So yeah, this week's restaurant is the brand spanking new White Castle in Orlando. I still can't really believe that we managed to pull this off. As we said on the last episode, we recently tried and abysmally failed to go to White Castle because we were not willing to wait for hours on end for those sliders, even though they were likely totally worth it. So we decided to be crazy and get up at the ass crack of dawn to have breakfast at White Castle because they serve their entire menu all day. Who doesn't want to eat cheesy sliders at 9 a.m.?
I do.
I do too, apparently.
All the time. They were so good.
They were amazing. Amazing. So we got there, like I said, at like 9 o'clock in the morning. There was already a drive-through line.
Of an hour.
But the walk-through or dine-in line was only 20 minutes long. So we're like, fuck yeah. Parked our cars, walked in. There was almost no line outside. We waited outside for maybe like 10 minutes. Maybe. I think I'm exaggerating that. And then we got inside.
I think we waited more for them to take our order.
Because it seems like when they get backed up, and they had also opened the drive-thru by the time we got inside, that they like stop taking orders for a little bit until they get caught up, and they take orders again.
Yeah, so it took longer than for us to get from the parking lot into up front to where the cash register. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I feel like for how hectic and busy they are, they have a pretty good production line. Once we did finally order, we didn't wait very long for the food at all. I think we got our drinks and had just gotten settled at the table when they called our name.
Yeah. And that my name was called by the owner. I'm pretty sure that guy was the owner.
We're assuming he's probably the franchise owner based on his demeanor.
And how he was dressed. He was decked out in White Castle apparel. And he was not looking or acting like any of the other employees. He was acting a little bit above them. But hey,
that was just his personality. He's not necessarily the owner.
He was going up to people, talking about the food, seeing what else they would like, what he could do for them, and all that. So yeah,
that's true.
I'm pretty sure that was the franchise owner.
So neither one of us got just a regular combo. I got the 4 cheese sliders and mozzarella sticks instead of French fries, because why the hell not?
I mean, those mozzarella sticks were pretty good.
They were awesome.
I'm surprised at the quality of the marinara sauce.
It was awesome.
That marinara sauce was actually pretty good. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that sauce was better than some sauce that I've had on pizzas. I
suppose. Yeah. I was constantly comparing them to Sonic mozzarella sticks.
Those are nasty.
Which are trash.
They're garbage.
I used to love them, and I don't know why. I think probably just because I didn't get to eat mozzarella sticks that often.
Probably.
And they were cheap. But they taste cheap. Yeah, those mozzarella sticks are really good. They're not breaded too much. And the mozzarella, the marinara sauce is awesome.
Also, the mozzarella stick itself, the coating outside had really good flavor.
It did.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was very, very Italian.
It was surprising.
Very, very good. I had the sliders too, and I had the onion chips, which are onion rings, except they're chips of an onion, just deep fried.
Cooked the same way, but chipped.
They were so good.
They were good.
They were meaty. Like, they had thick onion inside them. So they were fried perfectly. They had a really good taste. Like, I ate them without any sauce or anything. That's how good these onion chips were. They were crunchy. They were hot. They were juicy and meaty. And I want some right now.
Now, the people who say that it's not worth the hype because it's the same as Crystal's deserve to be slapped in the face with a wet dog. A wet sock.
A wet dog.
A wet sock. A wet sock that smells like a wet dog. Because holy shit, there is a world of difference. These things are so much better. So much better. I mean, like, I don't know if they're seasoned, but it definitely tasted seasoned. And that cheese, oh my God. It wasn't so like some freaking McDonald's cheese. It was like a normal color. It was so melted and like perfectly melted.
See, it's American
real cheese.
It's American cheese. The thing is, I think that it's not, um, obviously it's got to be processed, but it's not as processed as McDonald's cheese. I think it's a bit more natural.
A bit more.
Yeah, a bit more.
As natural as fast food cheese can be.
Because American cheese, it's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
But good American cheese is actually kind of good.
Yeah.
So, and that was actually really good cheese.
It was amazing.
See, the thing that I love is that you would put it in your mouth and it would kind of like just melt.
Mm-hmm.
All of it would just melt.
Mm-hmm.
So good, except for that one bread that I got. Because the bread is weird because it gets soggy and immediately it gets hard.
You gotta eat it fast.
If you let it sit there. So
Well,
I got one that had kind of like hard bread, and I was like, I gotta eat faster because these are getting bad.
Yeah, I was busy taking pictures, so unfortunately a lot of mine was cold, but it still tasted good. You can't fight that flavor. So I won't knock it for the fact that I let it get cold.
I wanted to buy a Crave case so bad. You wouldn't let me buy a Crave case. I wouldn't
let him buy a Crave case. It was $30 for the one with cheese.
Right now.
Oh, God.
We would be sitting here.
Eating White Castle as we record our podcast about White Castle.
Yes.
Oh.
The ultimate promotion for White Castle. Maybe they'll give us a sponsor.
I am intrigued by the fact that you can get a Crave case with different kinds of cheese. Like, you can get pepper jack cheese. And I really, really want to try that.
Weren't you thinking about going there recently and getting some to take up to Georgia?
Yeah. Which means you need to try to get the days off so that we can get you a Crave case for us and them a Crave case.
So I was thinking I'll go down with you. I'll go down to Kissimmee with you. You can get the Crave case for Georgia and get me a clutch case or Crave clutch or whatever it's called. And I'll just eat that all weekend.
Oh, God.
It's so good.
No, if you're not going to Georgia, you don't get any White Castle.
You don't get any White Castle?
Nope.
That's not fair.
But another thing, my stepmom is from Kentucky, and she apparently grew up eating White Castle. And we were talking about how the White Castle buns are steamed. Like at Crystal's, they'll put them on the grill and just make them warm, but then you just kind of get crunchy buns. But they're dry. They're really dry. And like he said, if you let the White Castle ones sit there for too long, they start to get hard because they are moist from being steamed. And you don't want them to get cold.
No.
But geez, while they're still hot, makes a world of difference. They're like creamy, savory goodness.
Like while we were sitting there waiting for our food, I was looking around and you could see all the old people eating them.
There were so many old people there.
Enjoying them like if it was their last meal.
I mean,
did you not notice that?
But think about the fact that most people, a huge portion of the population is snowbird from up north.
That's true.
Who probably lived on not lived on it, but
ate it a
lot. If they wanted a slider, they go to White Castle.
Yeah.
This might be the first time they're having it in years.
So I think we fucked up because we should have seen Harold and Kumar go to White Castle before we went there.
I have no
because
interest.
I shit you not, the first time I had real White Castle was when my Aunt Tony brought a Crave case from New York over to Puerto Rico.
That's so crazy to me.
And it's because I watched Harold and Kumar.
And you begged her for one?
And I just
told her?
I told my mom. I was like, I want some White Castle. I don't want the Walmart ones or the Supermercado del Este one because that's the supermarket that we had nearby. And she said, let me talk to Tony because I think there's one nearby. And my Aunt Tony brought me a Crave case. And I tell you, I watched the movie again before I ate them. And they taste better after you watch the movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
This stupid ass movie. It is so funny. I love this movie. Ryan Reynolds is in this movie.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
I didn't know that.
He is. It's very funny. And Neil Patrick Harris is in the movie
what?
too. Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is awesome in the movie. So this movie does such a great job of making you feel like you need to eat this. It makes you crave White Castle to the point that it makes it taste better.
I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it needed any help tasting better. It was awesome.
It was awesome. I really wish we would have gotten that Crave case. I wish I wouldn't have let you talk me out of it.
Oh my gosh, we can go back. We just have to go at 9:00 in the morning.
No, thank you.
It was fine.
I guess.
But then by the end of the night, we both felt like we'd been to White Castle like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because it felt like the longest day ever.
It was a very, very long day. It was, oh my God.
Longest day.
Terrible. We were both off. Well, I was off and you were...
It was a weekend by that point.
Yeah, who cares? Anyways, what are we rating White Castle?
Garbage! You don't want to give it garbage? I give it garbage.
My better judgment is against garbage, but...
Just don't let it get cold, and then it's still garbage. It was so good.
It's just stupid-ass White Castle, but then again, garbage is stupid-ass food that's actually really fucking good.
I mean, it's good. Just don't let it get cold.
So, yeah. Okay. I'll go along with garbage. White Castle gets a garbage.
It's like garbage minus the 0.1 that you took away from. It's a 4.9.
It's a 4.9. So technically, if you round it up, it is garbage.
It's garbage.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some housekeeping. All right. So first up, Patreon. We didn't plug it at the beginning. I keep forgetting to set up a stupid joke for it.
Our Patreon supporters like to go to White Castle.
Our Patreon supporters would like to go to White Castle.
Maybe they do go to White Castle.
Hopefully they do. Hopefully they enjoy it too. So go enjoy White Castle with our Patreon supporters by signing up to our Patreon for $2 a month. You should really do it because we're funny and we have bad content on there. It also helps us with the giveaways. All the things that get donated into our Patreon, they get used to send out these giveaways that we do. Like this week's giveaway, which is Dirt 5. If you want to win your copy of Dirt 5, which is only one, and the first person to email in gets it. It's only North America. It can't be the rest of the world because you people in Europe...
No, honey, not just North America, the U.S.
The U.S.
U.S. only, not North America.
North America,
no, U.S. only.
The Canada actually uses the same games as the
shipping
States.
Costs.
Doesn't matter. If you're from Canada, you might win too. Just make sure you're the first one in with the exact wording that I use in my Resident Evil review for what I think about Lady Dimitrescu.
Is
no. Is
Carradine.
No. Yes, it's Carradine. If they wanna win it, they have to listen to the entire episode. We're not gonna put a timestamp or anything. They have to give us the listen.
I have faith in you. Should have said that at the beginning.
I am such an evil genius. If they want the game, we have to get the listen.
Oh, God.
Anyways, remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at anovelconsole and on Facebook.com at Facebook.com/anovelconsole. Don't forget, you can tell your friends that they can find the podcast on most major podcast streaming platforms. I said platforms, but no, it's platforms because you jump
like a platypus.
Yes.
Psyduck?
Do you? What?
Platypus made me think Psyduck.
Psyduck is a duck.
I know, but it made me think of Psyduck because he looks kind of like a platypus.
Don't forget to tell them that they can also find us on YouTube. Also tell them to like, subscribe, and comment. It's A Novel Console on YouTube. We're the only novel console, even though some people get creative with their names, and I have found other people that say this console is novel. And
don't forget to send in your Zelda memories.
We're getting to that.
Okay.
You should also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts so that more people can find us. Maybe they'll join our Patreon and we can do more giveaways more constantly. You can also email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com and we will read your email on the show if you want us to or not. And also, please send us in your Zelda memories so that we can have these 4 Zelda month, which starts in June. The first Zelda episode is going to be June 7th. So please send us your emails before then. And at the end of the month in June, we're going to have a big Zelda blowout with a very big guest. And it's going to be fun. And it's going to be awesome. And you guys don't want to miss it, especially if you love Zelda. And our art was done by Metamorphic, so go ahead and give her a follow on Instagram. You will find her link on the show notes. And with that, that's it for this week's episode. I thought we were going to be short, but no. I always think we're going to be short. And lately, we've been breaking an hour every single episode. What do you think?
I think it's impressive. I think we're doing well.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
We make a good team.
And not reading the whole thing that I write has kind of helped a lot.
Which is weird, because it made us longer.
Yeah, it made us longer, but it also just sounded like I was going to, and that's it. So I think I'm going to keep this format. I think it works. What do you think?
I think it works too.
Okay. So anything else you want to say before we end the show?
Don't read Emily Henry's books. Just kidding. You might like them.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.